Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the corporate world jargon, one filing at a time. And today we're diving into AVNET's latest report. And let me tell you, it's giving us a peek into their fiscal year-end performance, not just a snapshot, but a full story about their financial health going forward. So what is AVNET all about? Well, they are a global technology distributor. They connect the world's leading technology manufacturers with customers in various industries. They help businesses get the components and solutions they need to build and innovate. This report we're looking at is called a Form 8K, and that's basically a way for companies to announce major events that shareholders should know about. It's like a public announcement of important company news. The date of this report is August 6th, 2025. This means the information they are sharing is up to this point, and they are releasing their results for the fourth quarter and the entire fiscal year 2025. AVNET's main stock is traded on the Nasdaq under the ticker symbol AVT. This is the company's heartbeat in the stock market and how most people will track its performance. The most exciting part of this filing is the results of operations and financial condition, essentially. This tells us how much money they made, how much they spent, and how healthy the company is financially. They are announcing their fourth quarter and year-end results for fiscal year 2025. So on August 6, 2025, AVNET released an official announcement about their financial performance for the last 3 months of their fiscal year and the whole year. This press release is what we're really digging into to understand their business. This press release is included as an exhibit, which means it's attached to this report as the source of their official financial announcements. So they've put out their numbers for the year, and we want to see what story they tell. Think of it like checking your own bank account at the end of the year. Did you save more? Did you spend less? Or did unexpected expenses pop up for AVNET? This is their big yearly financial checkup. The SEC, or Securities and Exchange Commission, is like the referee of the financial world. They make sure companies are honest and transparent with their investors, and these 8K forms are a big part of that transparency. Now, let's talk about the numbers themselves, because that's where the real story lies. Without specific tables in this document, we are relying on the press release to get the key figures. However, usually at this point in a report, they would detail things like revenue, earnings per share, and profit margins. Imagine AVNET as a massive warehouse distributing electronic parts to companies that build everything from your smartphone to sophisticated industrial robots. So revenue is basically the total amount of sales that came into this warehouse in a given period. Earnings per share, or EPS, is like saying how much profit trickled down to each individual share of stock. If you own a piece of AVNET, this tells you your share of the company's profit. Profit margin is a bit like looking at how efficiently they manage their sales to generate profit if they have a high profit margin. It means for every dollar of sales, they keep a good chunk of it as profit. While this filing doesn't contain the full financial tables themselves, it points to a press release that would certainly have these figures. What we're looking for is growth or decline in these numbers year over year. For instance, if their revenue went up by 10%, that could mean they sold more parts, or perhaps the prices of those parts went up. If their earnings per share dropped by 5%, it suggests that even though they might have sold a lot, the cost of running the business or acquiring those parts ate into their profits more than before. Let's think about the external context. For AVNET to do well, the global economy needs to be strong and the demand for electronics needs to be high. If there's a shortage of computer chips globally, for example, that could affect AVNET's ability to get products and therefore their sales. Also, competition is fierce in the distribution space. They're up against other big players who are also trying to get these electronic components to manufacturers. So the strategy AVNET employs to manage suppliers and customers is critical. We want to see if they are gaining market share or losing it. Are they expanding into new product areas or new geographic regions? These kinds of strategic moves should be reflected in their financial results. The filings reference the Nasdaq Global Select Market, where their common stock is traded. This is a major stock exchange known for listing growth-oriented companies. So being listed here suggests a certain level of financial maturity and transparency that investors expect. Now, a key part of understanding any company's health is looking at trends. If AVNET has shown consistent growth in revenue and profits over the past few years, then this latest report is just the latest chapter in a positive story. However, if there's been a decline or volatility, it might signal underlying issues that need closer examination. This report is primarily about their financial performance for the fiscal year ending in 2025. It doesn't really detail major leadership changes or specific legal battles unless they directly impacted the financial results being reported today. What we typically want to see in these filings is not just the raw numbers, but also an explanation of why those numbers are what they are. For example, if there was a significant increase in operating expenses, it would be helpful to understand if that was due to investments in growth new facilities or perhaps just rising costs of doing business. From my perspective, looking at a company like AVNET, you want to see consistency and smart growth. They're in a business that is essential for technology, but it's also sensitive to economic cycles and supply chain issues. Are they efficiently managing their inventory? Are they effectively controlling their costs? Are they making smart investments in technology to improve their distribution processes? These are the questions that the financial numbers should help answer. In essence, this Form 8K filed on August 6th, 2025 is AVNET's official report card for their fiscal year, giving investors and the public a clear picture of their financial standing and operational performance. This particular filing emphasizes the release of their fourth quarter and year-end results for fiscal 2025, indicating a focus on past performance and its implications for the future. Now, looking at these results more broadly, AVNET appears to be navigating a complex global market. They are in a position where if the technology sector thrives, AVNET stands to benefit significantly. However, ongoing supply chain challenges or shifts in manufacturing demand could present risks. A strong financial performance would mean not only growing revenue, but also a healthy profit margin and consistent earnings per share growth. This indicates that the company is not just selling more, but is also running its operations efficiently. Ultimately, this report is a key indicator for investors to gauge the health and future prospects of AVNET. It's about understanding how well the company is managing its business in a dynamic industry. Alright, that's our breakdown of AVNET's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.